there were lots and lots of ways people were recycling on campus. The first one was water, because water was very scarce. So normally you use it at least 2 times. For example, you can wash your clothes or wash the plates and then collect the whole thing and then use it to then flush the toilet. And of course, we didn't flush the toilet all the time, so that it makes sense. Another example was the student jotters. We used a lot of jotters. They were just clipped together, rough paper, and everybody used jotters to write, just to make economies. Instead of buying notebooks that would be more costly, you use jotters. And after writing, then people discarded it or sold it to onye kom-kom that I talked about before. That was a lady that was coming to collect recyclables. And so these jotters ended up in the market. I didn't know at first until one time I went and bought peanuts, granuts they called it. And the granuts were sold in cones. And the cone was actually made up of jotter, So it was a wonderful thing. And of course, when you finish your granuts, then your cone goes back to onye kom-kom. So it will continue being recycled until it falls apart. Another thing that was recycled was clothes. I remember we used to wear good clothes to come out, to go to church, of course, to go to teach, or any outing. Even going to the market was an important visit, and so you had to be in your best. But at home, people just used old stuff, the kind of clothes that you could, clean your hands on, even if you were cooking and it was your hands were full of palm oil, it doesn't matter, you just clean it on your wrapper. And those clothes were used and used and used until they fell apart. And that was a magic moment, because your singlets, could then be used as rags, we called it, to clean the floor. When you mop the floor, instead of a mop, you use your rags. And so it was a new life, a second life for clothes. Another way people recycled was the fabrication of otapiapia. That was an insecticide that was local. It was locally made from vials, discarded vials from the medical center. They had contained antibiotics that were used for injections. So normally you put your needle into it, pump it out, the liquid, and then discard the vial. The vials were then recycled in the market and filled with a concoction that was called otapiapia. That is, it bites and finishes you. And it was designed just that, to completely destroy anything crawling. So ants, cockroaches, anything on the floor that touched that was meeting instant death. And that was magical. And I used to buy them in quantity in the market and then put them around the house at the base of the walls. And we had nothing crawling after that. It was magical. The last example I will give is the one of Obioma. Obioma was a mobile tailor. He was a man. The man had no watch. He had no diary whatsoever. But you meet him always on the street. He would be walking about between his clients. And as you meet him, you can tell him, could you come to the house? And you say, yes, okay, what time, what day? you fix a day, and usually he was coming in the morning, and then when he comes, all he has is a sewing machine on the head that he carries. And so he will come with his sewing machine and a kind of mat that he will put on the floor, usually in the veranda, and then he sits there, and you bring all the clothes that you want to repair. For example, we had towels that were recycled by him into face towels. We had bed sheets that were recycled into pillowcases. We had a lot of dress material that was, sewn back. All the possibles were done. You just bring the pile to him, and then we start debating the price. And he will have a look at it and say, okay, so much. And either you agree or you debate a bit. And then you will be working one after the other, until your piles go down and another pile of repairs goes up until it's all finished. Then you will leave. And usually you would stay probably from 10 a.m. to 3-4 p.m. and you pay him, and that's it. And then you have all brand new clothes or new beddings or new towels, face towels, wonderful stuff. And it was so good, and that was it.